Morning. All right. So we're going to move on today to solving two-step inequalities, just like solving two-step equations. So let's go ahead and take a look at the first one. Remember, the first thing we always want to check for is that that variable is on the left side of your inequality, which it is. So we're good to go ahead and start. So I'm going to draw my mirror. Remember, the first thing we undo is the adding or subtracting. So what I notice right here is minus 7. So how do we get rid of minus 7? We add 7. Add 7 to the left and add 7 to the right. Show me that your 7s are going to cancel. So now the question is 6 times what is greater than 12? Now we're going to undo the multiplication. So 6y means 6 times y. So the opposite of multiplying by 6 is dividing by 6. So 6 divided by 6 is going to cancel. So we've got y is greater than 2. All right, so that is our solution. We're ready to go ahead and graph. So we're going to find 2, put a circle at 2. That's going to be an open circle since the sign is greater than, showing that 2 is not a solution for y because 2 is not greater than itself. Number 2. Is the variable to the left of the inequality? Yes, it is. So we're going to go ahead and solve. Draw your mirror. First thing I have to get rid of is 4. So I'm going to subtract 4 from the left and subtract 4 from the right. So then I have negative 3d is greater than or equal to 15. So negative 3 times what is greater than or equal to 15? So I'm going to divide by negative 3. Remember that rule we learned last week about dividing or multiplying by a negative? New rule, if you multiply or divide by a negative, you must flip your sign. So my negative 3's are going to cancel. So look at our sign. Our sign was greater than or equal to. We're going to flip that to less than or equal to since we just divided by a negative. 15 divided by negative 3 is negative 5. So our solution is that d is less than or equal to negative 5. So we're going to find negative 5 on the number line and put a circle. That's going to be a closed circle showing that negative 5 is equal to negative 5, less than or equal to negative 5. Alrighty, is the variable on the left side of the inequality? Yes, it is. So we can go ahead and start solving. First thing we undo with a two-step is the addition or subtraction. So the first thing that I notice right here is plus 8. So to get rid of plus 8, we're going to do minus 8 on the left and minus 8 on the right. Your 8's are going to cancel. So we still have what number divided by negative 4 is greater than 1? Well, the opposite of dividing by 4 is dividing by negative 4 is multiplying by negative 4. So over here, I'm going to multiply the left by negative 4 and multiply the right by negative 4. Remember that new rule that we learned last week said if you have to multiply or divide by a negative to solve your inequality, you must flip your sign. Well, our sign was greater than, so we're going to flip that. So W is not greater than, W is less than negative 4. Circle negative 4. That's going to be an open circle. And draw your arrow. All right, go to page 2. First thing we want to check for is the variable. Is it on the left? Yes, it is. Now this one's looking a little bit different, right? Because now we see the distributive property. So before we start solving, we have to distribute. That means I'm going to multiply negative 7 times x. So that's negative 7x. And I'm going to multiply negative 7 times 3. Negative 7 times 3 is negative 21. Is less than or equal to 28. We're going to draw our mirror. First thing we're going to undo is the adding or subtracting. So the opposite of minus 21 is plus 21 on the left and plus 21 on the right. Negative 21 plus 21 cancels. So we still have negative 7 times what is less than or equal to 49. Now I'm going to undo my multiplication. So negative 7 times what? The opposite of multiplying by negative 7 is dividing by negative 7. So we're going to divide both sides by negative 7. The new rule that we learned last week said if you have to multiply or divide by a negative to solve an inequality, you must flip your sign. So my negative 7s are going to cancel, so all I have is x less than or equal to is going to flip to greater than or equal to. 49 divided by negative 7 is negative 7. X is greater than or equal to negative 7. So we're going to find negative 7 on the number line. We're going to put a closed circle at negative 7, and that arrow is going to point to the right, showing that all of these numbers to the right could be solutions for x. Number 5. Check to see where your variable is. Our variable is on the right. We want to flip it to the left. So I'm going to take my negative 3 and flip it to the right. I'm going to take that and flip it to the left. So 0 and 5/10 times 8 plus y. Now remember, when you flip your variable to the left, you have to flip your sign. So our sign was less than or equal to. Our sign is going to flip to greater than or equal to. So 0 and 5/10 times y plus 8 is greater than or equal to negative 3. All right, so we are ready to solve. First, we're going to distribute. So 0 and 5/10 is the same thing as 1/2. So 1/2 of 8 is 4. And 1/2 times y, 1/2 times y is 0.5y is greater than or equal to negative 3. Now, what I need to undo is the 4. So I'm going to subtract 4 from the left and subtract 4 from the right. My 4s are going to cancel. So 0.5y is greater than or equal to negative 7. So 0.5 times what is greater than or equal to negative 7? So I'm going to divide the left by 0.5 and the right by 0.5. So I'm going to come over here and show my work. 7 divided by 0.5. I'm going to have to add a decimal and a 0 because I have to slide that decimal over. So my decimal is going to sit right there in my answer. 5 goes into 7 once, and 5 goes into 24 times. So that answer is negative 14. We were dividing a negative 7 by a positive 5/10. So my solution is going to be y is greater than or equal to negative 14. So down here, I'm going to add negative 14. That's going to be a closed circle, and that arrow is going to point to the right. All right, last one, real world application. That's why we're learning how to solve inequalities, is to solve problems. A contestant in a weight loss competition wants to lose an average of at least 8 pounds per month during a 5-month period. Here are his first 4-month results. He lost 12, then 9, then 5, then 8. How many pounds must the contestant lose in the 5th month to reach his goal? Remember, when we define the variable, it's always what the question is asking. So how many pounds must the contestant lose in the 5th month to meet his goal? So when we define our variable, let X equal number of pounds to lose. That's what we're trying to figure out. So the average is when you add all the numbers together and then divide, we're going to divide this by 5 months. So if you look down here, 12 pounds in the 1st month, 9 pounds in the 2nd month, 5 pounds in the 3rd month, 8 pounds in the 4th month, plus how many unknown pounds in the 5th month, divided by 5 to have an average of at least 8 pounds per month. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add all those numbers together. So 12 plus 9 plus 5 plus 8 is 34. So we're going to have 30, whoops, I'm sorry, not meaning to write with my highlighter. So 34 plus how many more pounds divided by 5 will be greater than or equal to the 8-pound average. That would be your inequality. All righty, let me know if you guys have questions.